Alright, so I got a question last night about how to bridle a horse that's difficult bridling. I don't have a difficult horse to bridle, but I do have the same kind of bit that the person's using, and so I'm going to show you how, as a general rule, we bridle our horses. So this is a full cheek snaffle, and this is Peaches, and she is a rescue, but she's usually really good about everything. So to be safe, you want to put your reins up over your shoulder. I always tell the little kids, just like a purse. That way they're not on the ground. There's nothing that you guys can trip through. You also don't want to let your horse loose. So if you have your horse tied like this, you're going to let the halter loose, keep the horse tied, and put the halter around the horse's neck so that if you need to, you have something to grab if your horse tries to walk away. If you're using cross ties instead, you're going to let the cross tie next to you drop, and you're going to keep the cross tie on the other side of the halter, and you'll still end up hooking the halter around the horse's neck like this. Okay, so the best way to get a horse to accept a bridle if it's trying to evade you is to make sure that your right arm is around the horse's nose, the bridge of the nose. To be able to get the halter lined up correctly, oh, and my throat latch is hooked, so hold on here. To get the bit to line up correctly to the mouth, you're going to end up holding the head stall below the brow band in your hand. Your hand's going to have to do two things. It's going to have to hold the brow, or hold the cheeks, cheek pieces, and also hold the horse's nose. So if the horse's head goes up and to the outside, you have a good grasp on it. Now, you don't want to hit the horse's teeth with the bit as you're coming in. So I'm going to line it up here, and I'm going to come up very slowly. If the horse is trying to evade, at this point, I'm going to hold the head, and we're just going to stand here, and we're going to feel the bit at the mouth. Now, Peaches, as I mentioned, is very well trained, so she's already ready to accept the bit and just take it from me. So you're going to see I'm going to get that bit in very, very easily. Good girl. Once I do that, I can take my hand away and put the bridle over the horse's ears. Always bend the horse's ears flat forward. Don't bend them in half. It's just kind of like somebody grabbing your ear and torquing it. That's not a very comfortable thing. Now the other part, when you're putting the bridle on with your left hand, that we want to watch for is to make sure that you're holding the whole bit in your hands. So your thumb's on one side and your fingers are on the other side, so that you can help guide that bit very straight into the mouth. You don't want to be putting the bit into the mouth crooked like this. It makes it very hard for the horse to accept the bit. And you can see, I can try here, and you can see all of a sudden she says, "What are you asking me to do?" And you're going to start to see some protest there. Now she's still going to pull it off, but she's not happy about it. And if you continue to do a bridling situation like that, she'll become worse and worse with time. Okay, so same thing goes with when you're taking the bridle off. When you're taking the bridle off, you want to make sure that you don't hit the bit on the horse's teeth. So when you pull the bridle over the horse's ears, straight forward, I'm not going to allow the bridle to come down without control. So I'm going to make sure that she can bring it out of her mouth without it popping on her teeth like that. Okay, very good. Okay. All right, so Peaches isn't a very tall horse, and the person I'm talking to is having trouble with a tall horse. So we're going to slide over here to Miss Aurora and see how she does. Come on over. That's it. Oh, I missed the bridle. So I have never bridled Aurora before. She's a rescue and she's not to the riding point. So we're going to see how it goes. She supposedly has worn a bridle before. So same thing, I'm going to make sure I have a good hold on her, and I'm going to hold her head close. And this is a Western bridle, but it doesn't much matter for the purposes of putting a bit on her it's still the same thing. So again, I'm going to put my hand right up and line up with her teeth, and you can see she accepted it very quickly, very easily. Now, since she didn't dance, and if you have a horse that isn't dancing, you can stand up on a mounting block if you need more height. But don't climb up on that mounting block to work with trying to bridle your horse if your horse is going to move around. So hopefully that gives you a better idea about how to effectively bridle your horse. Same thing, I'm not going to drop that bit and get it caught in the bottom of her teeth. I'm going to ask her spit to bring it out straight.